palate lovers, it's me, your captain Vasco speaking. Hi, hello, welcome. It's Saturday this time. It's August 22nd, 2026. It's I don't know, it's going. How you doing? I'm probably a little better than yesterday. I don't feel like I'm doing great. Has anyone talked about doing like a 2 day work week? I feel like I could use like a 2 day work week, you know? Is that something? Um, we're back again. We're playing Cosmic Express because we haven't hit the wall. I feel like this. I haven't done a lot of pure puzzle games on the stream. It depends a little bit on how exactly you define like a puzzle game versus like a narrative game that has puzzles or something to that effect. But like, I don't think I've done a lot of puzzle games that are like just a series of puzzles and then at some point you presumably like complete it or the heat death of the universe catches up with you. I did like a little bit of Baba Is You. I want to say that was earlier this year, but the concept of time has lost all meaning. Um, and after like two installments, I was like, I probably should not keep trying to play this on stream because it's really easy in a game of that nature to just be like staring at a thing and providing no commentary and not making progress and just sort of like quietly occupying disk space at twitch.television. Um, which is, fine, I suppose. But I endeavor to be more interesting than watching paint dry. I don't always get there, perhaps, but I think most of the time we succeed at this goal. Um, One thing I'll say about the second stream experience with Cosmic Express, I was a little surprised that, like, when delving a little bit further into some of the other areas that aren't like the very first ones, that we haven't seen more like new rules or concepts. I mean, I think I surmised that like one of the ones that was intended as a design choice is just the introduction of like non-critical obstacles like bushes and lampposts and things, which like they definitely add something to the puzzle, but they're not really a unique obstacle compared to just like having stations in a weird spot or something. But like we have seen at least a few puzzles towards the end of the last stream where like it was clearly designed where like there's a pretty straightforward solution and then they kind of just put a lamppost where you need to go and it's like figure it out, idiot. So that's the puzzle now. Um the other thing to note, particularly carrying over from yesterday's stream, is the elephant in the room. Of course, it's not a real elephant. It's a box with a brand name on it that is not sponsoring the stream or any stream that I know of. It's the Pokemon Krispy Kreme donut collaboration. Ooh, ah. So yesterday we went through and tried all of the traditional Kanto starters. We had Charmander, then Squirtle, then Bulbasaur. They were all very good. The remaining ones that we have from the new collection are Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and Pokeball. Worth noting that Pokeball is largely just vanilla frosting and half sprinkles. So, like, I wouldn't expect a reinvention of the wheel. But, we have that to look forward to. I think I mentioned yesterday that I did, in the process of driving 60 miles round trip to acquire these donuts, for the purpose of reviewing them on stream. It's a tradition that like I ended up acquiring a few extras, mainly to have for myself. There may be some compelling reason to incorporate them tonight, but I think it's probably just going to be the three others to round out the collection and have a sense of how everything is. Um, but I did get a couple extras for myself because they just don't, by default they only give you one of everything except Pikachu, which, well, we have yet to see if the Pikachu is particularly noteworthy, but it's disappointing in the sense that, I'm used to these themed dozens having some duplicates so that you can at least enjoy like two of a donut if you really like one. Are you a trainiac on the floor? Yes, and I'm training like I've never done before or something to be the very best, like no one ever was. Um, do I have anything particularly interesting to incorporate from life experience that hasn't already been addressed yesterday. It's very hard to think or make words good. The donut button should be live if anyone wants to fire it off. There's no obligation to do that. I don't know if it'll do the sound effect. I tried to fix it twice yesterday on stream. I think the fact that I've rebooted the entire system might have accounted for that, but I don't know.
Donut button, Sam and Max.
Okay.
Donut button.
Well, it is working now. Yesterday I had to do the sound alert manually, even though I at some point in the past that I barely remember doing set that up. So since my mom is the redeemer, she gets to select which of the remaining donuts to try. We have Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and Pokeball. Ooh, ah. Jakey says, "Well, my Native American lit class with an archaeology of food. Archaeology of food? Fascinating. I feel like if food is old enough to be archaeological, you shouldn't eat it. Also, somewhat related, I did watch the movie Obsession for the first time today with my mom, and I think she'll back me up on this. I feel as though the main character in that movie would not be a very good taste tester because of events that happen in that movie that suggest he does not pay attention to the quality of his food. Okay, going back to earlier, I don't know if I'm going to put in the edit the events that Zach had recounted on the Discord earlier about someone bailing on $2,500 worth of hotel charges, but there's your context. We're lucky that things like that are pretty rare for this property, so I think the company absorbs the cost for the occasional situation like this as a cost of doing business. It happened like all the time. This would definitely change. Sure, I guess that makes sense. Also, he's permanently banned. Okay, that was going to be my follow-up question is like, if there was like some, it'd be so funny if you just like didn't. It's just like, you just count on him to like assume that he can't come back and then he does and it just happens again. Start off easy with strawberry flavored Jigglypuff. I'm really interested in this. I think I said yesterday or at some point that I'm not typically like huge on strawberry flavor. I don't dislike strawberry at all, but like some people say that like strawberry is just like number one favorite best flavor or at least like favorite fruit flavor. I will say it looks really good. Oh, I forgot. Does this have like, are there like graham cracker or cookie bits or something mixed in with the Jigglypuff frosting? I'm feeling like I remember that, but I might be mistaking that with some other thing I was looking at. But it's Jigglypuff, and it's very pink, and it's cute, and strawberry seems appropriate. I pretty much always start by eating the little edible picture. There's a sugary crumb in the middle. There is. You know, I don't know what it is. It's something. I'm still on my fondant piece, so I haven't gotten any flavor yet. I've been told this is the kind of thing where he might end up being banned from all Hilton hotels in the world. That's. Let me know if that happened just because I'm curious. Like, it doesn't seem implausible for that to be the result of this action, but there's somehow something that's really funny to me about the notion that you like go to a hotel one time and make like one action that just gets you banned from like an entire worldwide conglomeration of hotels. That's really nice. That has a similar smoothness to the swirl that I liked from the Squirtle donut. It trades the texture of his like sparkle like water sprinkles for the like sugar dust of whatever type that is. I'm not getting like a real strong sense of flavor from it to identify what it's supposed to be. For some reason, I have a vague recollection they're supposed to be like quote cookie crumbs, but I don't know if that's right or if I'm confusing that for something else or a past thing that happened. I think I'm generally a fan of. I don't know if this is meant as like a new trend for like Krispy Kreme donut creations, or if they just wanted to cover a larger number of varieties with the Pokemon one and they had to do something a little different. But like even though the presentation on these is a little bit more straightforward because there's like a plain donut with like, you know, like flavor topping and garnish, like I don't know. There's something nice about how it's probably a little cheaper to produce than some of the fancy ones, but like making a themed flavor and like adding just like a little bit of detail to make it seem unique to whatever thematically they're going for. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it works out well for everyone. I'm liking the strawberry. Since we've had all of the sparkle sprinkles last night, I don't think the plate tonight afterwards will look as decorative. I posted a photo on the Discord of how it just like I have these sort of like teal plates I got from Target like 1,000 years ago that I like that are all like on the verge of like self-destructing. Don't worry about that. But like somehow the like interesting base color with all the like various like glitter adjacent like accoutrement made it look like it was some intentional like pottery choice. Yeah, Jakey said that artificial strawberry is a bit much, and it definitely can be, but like I feel like this is closer to it's I'd say it's even more muted, but like it has a similar quality to like a strawberry starburst. Like it's parentheses complimentary. Another nice element of this is like I feel like historically a lot of Krispy Kreme's better like thematic designs are the like filled shell donuts, which are like kind of dense, and it's nice that they've managed to like come up with some more unique designs for this that aren't as heavy. And again, I assume that makes it cheaper for them to like do the promotion, so like everyone's happy maybe. You know, it's interesting. I've become so used to with the Halloween donut taste tests. There's I feel like they've become like increasingly lazy with the designs. They're still largely fun, but like I feel like over time, like my grades for them have largely kind of just like sunk, just because like it's something I've already seen before, but they like put less effort into the presentation, so it's a slightly worse grade than it was like a year ago. But everything that's come from the Pokemon promotion, I've been really impressed with so far. I also just generally another property this has in common with the Squirtle one is that like I feel like both of them really like understate flavors that you could overdo. Like I feel like if you did a really if you had the intention to make the cotton candy Squirtle donut like more notable, like a stronger flavor, you would risk it becoming probably kind of like obviously artificial and chemically. Um, but like both Squirtle and Jigglypuff, they have like a really nice texture from like the sort of flavored buttercream. I think I like the Squirtle texture a little more because they added that like smooth sort of cream swirl. But like I think Jigglypuff is like also a strong A, which puts it like on par with the Bulbasaur and the Charmander. I can definitely imagine people having different impressions, but like I think that's where I'm at. I have Squirtle at A plus, and everything else I've tried at A. So is it worth a 60-mile round trip? You decide. In the meantime, I'm going to rinse off my hands so I don't get sticky keyboard or ants in here. Uh, so I'll be right back. Enjoy the music. Cosmic. Yeah, generally I would say like if you had concern that the strawberry on the Jigglypuff would be too strong, I'd be like, is strawberry starburst too strong for you? And if so, then like you could consider this. And if not, you're good. Alright, somehow that took like 20 minutes, so I feel like we're good to go. Play Cosmic Express. I guess I already did the nun recap that's involved here. I don't know where I'm going to start tonight. I haven't put any thought into that. I know that I started looking at Cassiopeia and like didn't make progress there. I think I've looked at some, but not all of Delphinus. And actually, I was making progress there at the end. I think I like stalled out on 10 and 11, and then did like 12 and 14. I have basically no sense of like how expansive this is. If we assume that like a dotted line that like doesn't immediately connect to something is the only way that the map expands outward, then we might actually have like uncovered a considerable portion of this game. I don't know how long it's supposed to take. And of course, estimates on completing a puzzle game are speculations at best. How about... Let me go back to 10. Okay. So we definitely looked at this yesterday. I haven't given any additional thought to any puzzle I looked at yesterday. It's just not quite that kind of game. You kind of have to be like looking at the exact map of it in order to really wrap your head around new things to try, I think. So, this is in, what is this, like the Vela system? Where the gimmick we've added is like a third type of alien. You start with like purple and orange orb. All pretty generic. They have the same properties of individual alien who wants to go to a color matching destination. But the green ones have a special property where the second that they get in a passenger car, they make it permanently stinky, and then no non-green alien will get in there. So you have to be careful about when and how you load them onto the train. But before we actually start putting new tracks down, we must, of course, recognize that it is no longer time for choo-choo, but instead it is time for choo-choo. It's train time. So, I left this here from the last time we were looking at this. And that is to say, we probably want to end this map with a green alien being dropped off at the green destination that's closest to the end bit. Don't know exactly what that looks like, and that might not be correct, but I think it is very likely. Now, one of the tricks of this particular one, I'm looking at it yesterday, is like, you kind of only have two chances to run through the middle, but you have to, again, you have to be careful about how you load the green alien passengers on so that you don't lock yourself out from being able to, like, complete the game. I have a hard time imagining that there's, like, a good reason to try and do the second, the like lower group, for the group closer to the exit first. But maybe that's why I haven't solved this, is that there is some reason. I don't know. How would that even look? Because then, like, if you went to drop off this, then you're trapped. And it wouldn't obviously make any sense to double back this way. The whole green is smelly conundrum. It's true. I have it on the authority of a puppet-based internet series that green is not a creative color, which I disagree with, but it is often speculated. Hi, Keen. Welcome to the stream. Hope your vacation is off to a good start. And I'm glad that you are able to join us for whatever amount of time works for you. Glad to have you here. So I'm sure I already did this. Like, pick up orange, pick up green. We ignore these two. And then we drop off orange and green. Briefly reflecting on whether it makes any kind of sense to, like, try and loop outward. Can't see what the benefit of that would be. So you pick up orange first, which makes this really difficult. If you inverted like almost any pair of these, it would make this a lot easier to do. Well, if you inverted these middle ones, it would actually be really deeply confusing, maybe not possible. So we could... we just, like, outright can't do this, right? Like, it's not that there's a trick after this. Instead, if you do this... your second slot already has green in it from your first pass through here. So then if you pick up green guy first, after having cleared your first space, then both spaces are stinking. You can't get the other orange guy. That's an interesting thought. Zacko says, I wonder if the developers even considered that this is hard and they could have made it not so hard. I would like to think that they were aware that it was difficult. And at least contemplated that it was within their power to make it less difficult. Maybe they know something I don't, and they were like, oh wait, there's a reason that it should be exactly this difficult. This is actually a little interesting, that you could do something like this. Make a separate loop. But you wouldn't be able to do it first. You can only do it last. And I have a hard time seeing how that is helpful without resolving something earlier down the line. The nature of trains makes it impossible to, like, make the second car touch the green alien first, because you would always have to have the linear nature of the train happen in sequential order. There's not enough space to go back. Like I was saying yesterday, like, feels like I should be able to make use of this corner, but I don't know how I would do such a thing. Is there somehow a situation where I can... I don't think there's enough ways to pass through the middle that I could, like, drop off the first green without dropping off the orange, and somehow, like, I'm not even sure that's possible at all. It's almost like they put too many bushes down. That seems like some sort of clerical error. There should probably just not be so many bushes. Yeah, like, the trick is, like, there's just... Trick to a lot of the green alien situations is, like, managing the time in which you, like, connect to aliens or stations to, like, keep green aliens sort of, like, locked in the smelly spot so that it doesn't fill the whole train. But, like, the way this is laid out, you can't do that in particular, really. Like, you could try to do something like pick up one orange guy. Yeah, but there's not enough space for you to, like, do anything useful with that. The exit was placed differently, maybe? Or is it that you, like, start normally and then there's some way to do it on the other side? I don't think so because of this. If I could, like, curve here, 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 without, like, plugging this up, that might be possible. No, that would still make both of the cars green. It just doesn't help at all to double back here. But you must have passengers before you can do anything else. You kind of have to cut to the middle, which means, like, there's not much else you can do. Like, this shape is a little malleable, but you're pretty much forced to, like, start somewhere in, like, you can go this way, touch him, or go this way. But, like, those are really your only starting options, and then you kind of have to end touching some side of the green one, I think, is the only way for this to work. You can't, like, double back to do anything cheeky, so you're, like... You couldn't do this, because, like... Also, it doesn't really change the end result. Even if you, like, followed this path and, like, you'd pick up the same guys in the same order, you would drop them off in reverse order, but I don't think that does anything. Because, like, it still ends up leaving both train cars empty and loading them in the wrong order, so you both end up with green. It's just that this one, like, can't also hit the end zone to possibly win. Alright. No new insights there immediately. I'm gonna try and warm up on something else. I'm gonna try... I guess that system is Delphin, it's not Vela. Let me go to Vela. This is one we opened up early on. I think I took a look at this, but didn't really try solving it. We have 4 purple man. And 4 purple plan of place for man to go. And then, of course, we end over here. So, is the idea here something similar to that one I was talking about yesterday? That's, like, one of the tougher ones I think we've encountered, where you like, ostensibly you just zigzag, but you just have to, like, figure out where you're, like, not interacting with specific individuals and, like, connect with those separately. I think that would mean something like... That's interesting. You could pick up 2 on this one, huh? That's definitely different from the last one. Got 2 train cars and a box. That somehow resonates with exactly those 2 guys. want to say it's something like pick up those. Maybe it's pick up these two. Hit those? Or maybe it's hit those. But no, if you pick up both of these guys, you block yourself off. But it would be relatively easy to do that. But I don't think that plan to double back gets any better. Maybe it's... Maybe you have to do it on the back end. That might work. Drop off, pick up these two, then like pick up these two, and then drop them off like that. I mean, it's the first one in New Sector. It's probably not supposed to be that hard. But its resemblance to one that I thought was hard maybe had me overthinking. Either way, we got there. Now again, that doesn't immediately give me a sense of, like, what new thing we've added here. I mean, we had 2 colors of aliens in the first section, didn't we? These ones are tricky, where, like, they put all of one type of thing on one half of the map that's, like, toward the exit, and then all the corresponding stuff is toward the start. Where would I like to start? I still have 2 cars. Brother. So I could do that, but then I can't get to the other side, which is the problem that the chicken always faces, as I understand it. Neither one of these has all that much space to work with. Is it a thing where, like... drop off both of those. I pick up him. No, that's an issue. How would this work? Because, like, in order to do any kind of pickup of second person, you have to close off most of the outlets to get to the ending space. That obviously can't be it. How do you do the corners? That's gotta be, like, the thing to figure out. There's obviously no way to hit both corners, like, back to back and then go to the exit. Like, there's just no way. There's... Without, like, an overpass space, you'd never be able to, like, collect these guys and then, like, hit these corners and then, like, still get here. So that kind of suggests that, like, well, it's not
sure
quite
what
mirrored.
blowing on that will achieve.
It's not quite mirrored because of this, and that's probably really important. How, I'm not sure, but it seems important. But I imagine that, like, the ending would either be, like, this, like, connecting to this corner or connecting to this corner. You could do... like, that would connect to both of these, right? So if you then... like, this sort of accounts for 3 of the 4 purples, but, like, how would I get... How would I... You have to somehow... I think it's simply the case that you, like, must go through the middle. And then pick up both purple guys, and then somehow loop back? But how would you do such a thing? Because, like, then you're stuck. Like, sure, I could drop them off, but then I'm stuck. I don't feel as though this would help, but would it? I think that takes up the least space. I think you have to go through the middle, as I said before. Maybe that does give enough space. I mean... that doesn't work. Can't go all the way here, because then you can't connect back. I can individually do both halves, but I can't make them work together. This middle space does make me think this version makes more sense than the previous one I tried. It's not better. No, if you hit the end wall, you're ended. Also, yeah, I can't wrap around that because I need... No, wait, this doesn't make any sense either. You have to do... whatever I was doing before, I don't think makes any sense. Yeah, you have to go on the inside for this to work, so it has to be the southern half that connects to the end, I think? Am I making that up? So then, I need a way for this to... How could it ever connect to both stations before it hits the passenger pickup, working from the end? This routing would let me take this guy to here, and this guy to here, but it wouldn't pick up this guy. So that doesn't work. But maybe that's closer to the solution. Maybe I need to pass by one of them multiple times and just ignore them once? Like, it's annoying because it feels like you pick up 3 and drop off 3, but I only have 2 cars, so I can't hold 3 at the same time. Gotta drop off in between. I don't drop off in between. But it's really hard. There's like no space on the far left here where you can just sort of like... up that guy. Same on the other side. This is the baseline, so that definitely occupies that space. So this configuration drops him off before the end. This configuration would drop off these two before the end. But it wouldn't be possible to, like, touch this corner again. These corner placements stink. The placement of the bush is really important, and I still don't know why. I tried to do this the other way and go like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. That doesn't help any, but I have more space on the inside over here. So I pick up both in the middle, and then drop off this corner, and then pick these up, but then I can't get through. So I don't pick up both. I pick up one, and then this guy, and drop them off, and then I pick up... but that's still not enough space. So... pick up this guy and then this guy without going into this little crook. Drop them off. Pick these guys up. And that doesn't change anything. Because the problem is how far to the south it goes, not how far to the west it goes. I think I'm getting closer. Not getting there, but getting closer. I do feel like it... I think I need to start by going through the middle, and that somehow informs how I must ultimately connect to everyone. I feel like you want to pick up two. Is that a trap, though? Drop off. I mean, you'd need to, right? How would you ever get back here? Drop off, pick up. But even if I, like, mirrored that... Ooh, is that something? Oh, it's so close. Oh, that's annoying. But, like, this path lets me pick up this guy and, like, immediately drop him off, and then get this guy and immediately drop him off. The way I have this set up doesn't even actually make sense. So maybe this is the right track and still like a wrong implementation. I mean, this is so like efficient in a very specific way. But no, you can't go for that corner first. You can't try to go for the furthest away guy first. Because then you'd, like, have no way to cross back to the other side. This is so... something, though. Isn't it? Isn't it, like, so Raven? Or what have you? No, it has to be the other one, right? That doesn't work. So what if it's... Well, I mean, if you did something like this, there's no space to connect to this without crossing over the exit. Night, Keen. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. I don't think I know the parameters, but I don't know if you'll be back by next Friday, but you're always welcome. We're always happy to see you. And I've made very little progress here. I'm thinking, though. Oh, the placement of everything is so very annoying. It's like Zacula said, it just seems like they could have made it easier to do. And it's almost like they chose willingly not to do that. Pick up him, drop him off. Pick up him, drop him off. But there's not like a lot of benefit to that, really. Oh, You could pick up one and then drop them off so that you have space to hold both of the others, but that still doesn't leave you a way to get back to pick up or drop off the last guy. At least not in a configuration I'm currently aware of. Doesn't work. I do feel like I'm getting closer, as imperceptible as that is. I can't cut all the way across. I think there's like some term for like what this is in Go, or some similar game, where like if you just get like a line all the way across, it creates like a specific board state of failure for your opponent, or if they do it to you, vice versa. Ooh, or what about that? What if the drop-off we do is the corner, which is such a nuisance to get to in the first place? And then we pick up two guys, and, no. Then we pick up, hold on. This is something, probably. It might need to be done on the other side. I haven't worked out what the plant is doing. I guess the question is, like, do I need this space entering the level or exiting the level? It seems like entering. It seems like entering. But I don't know how that translates to which version of this I do. For Vela 2, this is, I think, a difficult one. So, I pick up this guy, drop him off. No, it doesn't work. Ooh, wait. Is this something? Hold on. I waste a lot of time. I pick up the first guy and drop him in the corner. I get the second guy and the third guy and drop them both off. Then hit up the fourth guy again and get him on the way out. I think this works. That's a hard one. I think that's a hard one. Especially for Vela 2. What's Vela 3 like? What's Vela like 15 like? Yikes. Yikes for the present time. Let me see what 3 is like. What's that? What is that thing? What is it? I must know. Tell me what it does. It doesn't do anything if I don't have a passenger. What does it do? What does it do? It still doesn't do anything. What is it? Hello? It looks like a rocket launcher. Is it set dressing? Is that a decorative rocket launcher? Is that literally like equivalent to a plant as far as the game's concerned? I'm going to lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. So let's say I drop off 2, and then I pick up 2, and then I drop off 2, and then I pick up 2, and then I drop off 2. And isn't this much easier than the last one? What am I missing? Am I stupid? Is this not, like, considerably easier than the last one? Like, what the heck? Why does this come after 2? Why is 2 so hard? Okay, I guess I'll go to 4. That's a lot of purple guys. Still got 2 cars. Probably want to, like, hit the corner first. Probably want to pick up 2 guys. Ugh. Can't really do that. Do you just want 1? You would drop them off immediately. I don't think you want that. I think 3 is comically easier than 2. 2 is like, of the ones I've done so far, like, Vela 2 is like one of the hardest ones that I've done. And then like Vela 3 is like, lol, softball. So I can pick up 2, drop off 1, and get the last guy, and then just have to hit all the stations and leave, I think? I'm not seeing an obstacle here. The movements are really inefficient, which feels like that's the thing about the Vela system. Yeah, okay. 4 done. It's a small system, too. Vela 5? A lot of shrubbery. Like an awful lot of shrubbery. I mean, maybe the thing is just that it's been easier to identify where I need to start in those last 2, and that makes it easier. Oh, but they'll doink. No, I'll pick him up before they would doink. So, then I want to, like, touch this before I pick up another guy. But if I merely do that, then I'm toast, right? So it's probably more like... Drop off. No, that doesn't work either, it turns out. It doesn't work. I think the key here is sequencing which purple guys I pick up when. In theory, it would be nice to drop off 2 purple guys together last. That seems difficult to do. Maybe if I did that? No, there's no way to, like, circle back around if I, like, tried to drop off the other 2 characters. I'm not even sure I'm picking them up in the right sequence if I do that. Although... Oh, wait, what if I... No, there's no... If I doink them... Well, maybe. If I doink them deliberately, and then clear those 2 guys... I know this, at a glance, this looks like this might work, but it doesn't, because I just run into all 4 guys and drop off 2, and then run into the exit. This end is really compelling, though. It also seems impossible to achieve. So I have that going for me. But, like, in what way do I drop off... While this lamppost exists, in what way do I, like, drop off something here without, like, boxing myself out? This is impossible to achieve. Alright. As much as I want the efficient swirl to be good, it's not. Now, it is worth noting that, like, this also is its own kind of efficient. Where if I can spend all the rest of the space in the level and get to this point, I would then pick up this guy and, like, drop him off as I'm picking up this guy and drop him off before the exit. So it does seem viable, if not rather difficult, to, like... No, how would you... Well, if you, like, touched both of the drop-off points... Nah, but that's the problem. This can't get any lower. I could do that in a way that this opening track could connect to, it could work. But I don't think that's possible. But is there a way to do it one at a time? It seems unlikely also, to be honest. You would have to... Yeah, unsurprisingly, the lamppost is a real issue. So is, like, plants. If either one of those was gone, I think I could just, like, do that pretty easily. Obviously why they're present. Drop them off. In order for this to work... really would kind of have to work like that, which can't be done. So none of the things that look good to me on paper are possible. So clearly, I'm doing something wrong. So this could drop off those 2. But it wouldn't be able to, like, exit correctly. But I don't think you can go for anything in the corner before you do these guys. I guess it's possible. Yeah, you can get this exit stretch to touch 3 destination points and like 3 guys in a sequence that would deliver all of them. So if that's the case, then all I really need to do is get... I just need to pick him up and drop him off. Or is that somehow the trick? Can I suppose I can pick up both of them because I have that space, and I just need to get someone dropped off here and then connect with this, and then I win. But with the lamppost, it's surprisingly difficult. Because I can't, like, double back. Is there some... The lamppost is in, like, the world's most annoying location. It's not matter to me which of these two I drop off here, but if I can do that, the rest is elementary. The trick of this is the only place you can double up any track is here. What is the benefit of doing so? When I intend to do this, I can't make use of this extra space here, like along the exit route. So, like, I only get one in and out if I try to do this. I don't think that's possible, right? I don't think so. Man, there's so many versions of this that are, like, really, really close to working. Although maybe there's some version where I pick up folks and drop off here and here, and then drop off these points as an end. That seems worse, doesn't it? I think that's worse. Which kind of just leaves me right where I was. Unless... Ooh, that's... Huh. No, that's not much better. So, hypothetically, let's say I do this, right? I pick up 1, 2, I drop off 1, I pick up 1, I drop off 1, I'm unable to pick up this guy. That's my problem. Like, let's watch it. Like, this looks really close, but it's not. Or maybe it's close, but it's not there. Yeah, I need a way to get that dude on this path. But there's something so interesting about touching those spaces on the way out. What have I done here? uh. I would need to touch that, so that doesn't really work. There's so many angles I've approached this at, and they all feel really close. I don't know what that means for me. You can't, like, dip into this corner. You kind of have to do both of these together in some capacity. There's a lot of flexibility otherwise. Almost too much. Almost too much flexibility. Yeah, I can't. The world's most annoying lamppost. It's a bit odd that this wouldn't make use of this empty spot, huh? Pick up 2. That's not gonna be it, though.
Anubis!
He would know what to do. Is this something? I'm just, like, pressing buttons now. Does this do something? I pick up him, then I pick up him, so I avoid the doink. I drop off the first one and pick up the second. No, this is a similar problem to what I had before, right? It looks a little nicer, but it's exactly the same problem I already had. Makes such a sad noise at the end. This has to be connected. These two have to be picked up at more or less the same time, I think. It's like almost something. Oh, it's almost something. There's no way around that corner being an obstacle. Yeah, I can't stand him. Leave this for myself. I go back to the main map here. Oh, nope, it's a different backspace than I want, I guess. There's X and backspace and undo, and they're all kind of the same thing. Let me look at 6 here. Maybe 6 will miraculously be easy, like one of the earlier situations. I can't help but note that I've only seen one rocket launcher, and it has had no material effect on the video game. That would let me do... drop off there. Probably more likely to want to drop off there. Except that doesn't work. I think that's much easier than the last one, isn't it? Does this work? Pick up these two guys, and then I drop them off at like the two most annoying stations by just curving around it. And then I pick up these guys immediately, and then drop them off while just going around the outside. And I just leave. Okay, the difficulty curve of the Vela system is a little busted. Like, 2 and 5, insanely difficult. Everything else has been really easy. Alright, this does not look easy. Is it 7? That was 7. I mean, I can, like, do that. Already difficult. Pick up 2. Drop off 1, drop off 1. Pick up 2. Drop off the others in the middle. Don't think I can do that again, can I? Yes, I too was thinking around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. As the two legendary trailer park girls went. Was it actually specifically 2, or am I just thinking 2 because it's plural? I think it's 2, isn't it? This looks very smart. What about this end bit, though? I guess it's possible to do something similar again, yeah? So, like, pick up 2. Do that. Or do I need to do that? We need to do that at the end. So, in the other path, I do this. Ooh, that's not enough track. Is that fixable? I think it is. If I do that instead, then I can do this. Pick up 2, drop off the 2 at the ends. Pick up 2, drop them off in the middle. Pick up 2. Oh no, but then I drop them off at the first 2 spots because I'm doing it backwards. That doesn't work. But it looks really nice, right? Like, I've used the space really effectively and it looks like it would work. The first half works real good. It's like very space efficient and does like a bunch of nonsense. Makes me think there's a good chance that's involved. But maybe I need to do some weird thing where I do like all of the... No, I can't imagine having to do like all of the outsides and then the middle separately. I think that involves too much crisscrossing. Man, it's really close, though, is the thing. Is there a way to not touch the middle? No, that's insane. It's like the whole point. Makes it harder, not easier. I was thinking of like, I only pick up one guy and then drop him off and then do something else. But like that's... I'm still just like not addressing one of them correctly. Ooh, here's a thought, though. Maybe something like that. Where... Yeah, I think that works, right? You take a different approach. On this, you do the outside and then the middle. Wait, no, that doesn't work because I've messed up. Drop off side, and then I have the two guys who I was trying to drop off in the middle. But now it's all messed up. But does the way that it, like, touches everything somehow work? I'm gonna let the game figure this one out for me, and I'll see where I went wrong. So I pick up two guys, and I drop around the outsides. And then I pick up two guys. Oh, but then the issue is I have both guys when I need to pick up two guys. That's the issue. If I... This is solvable. I think this is solvable. Hold on. If I just... Because I drop them off... I drop these guys off here. No, that's not at all solvable. I would need to... Weird how this got out of hand. Huh. Ooh. Does this somehow do it? If I only... I drop off the edges. No, that's worse, isn't it? Would it be better? Would it be better? So I drop off edge, and then pick up two, and drop them off here. No, that's like also really bad. Oh, this is annoying. This is a really annoying one. I feel like I'm close, but I don't see it. I don't see a way to fix this. I liked my initial thing, but it doesn't work with the end game. And the end game that makes sense doesn't work. Maybe... No, because if I don't drop off the second guy here, then I don't even pick up both of these guys. So cutting that loop down doesn't help. It just creates another slightly different problem. Oh, game froze. So doing this allows me to drop off all four from the bottom half of the map. This just isn't usable, though. But... We kind have to do this, and then if you curved up, you wouldn't be able to drop off the middles at all? That's nothing. That's nothing. Do I touch it? I'm trying to think of a way where like I touch like a top and a bottom and do something, but then you're like crossing over the middle and you can't do like any runs to the middle, and it makes it impossible to fill out all the spots that way. It definitely feels like at some point I need to do some kooky thing like this where I like drop a guy off on either edge. It feels probably easiest to do that at the start. And I don't know, I think this is more or less mirrored, other than the start and exit are offset by one, but not in a way that immediately feels meaningful, where like it would be better to like collect the group on like the right over here to do this same nonsense. If you're doing this, you kind of have to pick them up immediately, right? Because otherwise, how are you coming back for them? Because you would have to get like at least this high if you like collected one of these without like dropping someone. What if you did something weird, like picked one up, dropped them off? No, you block, you make it impassable. That would be quirky. But it wouldn't be possible. if your like last step was to like go through the middle after picking up like two folks, but like how would you do that? Like I think it would be like this, and then no, you'd have to be able to pass through the middle like twice in addition to this, I think. You'd need to be able to like hold like 4 people at a time, I think. I can't like forcibly do that to make sure I hit the right ones in the middle, because I can't hold enough guys to drop off everyone that would need to be sent simultaneously. Just purple guys, and it's this hard, huh? What if I... Would there be any benefit to going around the outside further? like... Pick up, drop off, pick up. Drop off, pick up. Drop off. No. It's kind of close, but no. Because you'd kind of need to have these guys for that to work. But... drop off... Drop off 2 is too many, I think. So I got 2. Drop off 2, have the other 2. No, it's an interesting idea. I can't see a way to make that work. I shall revisit this. I'm not making progress. It was 7. Yeah, let's look at 8. I'm sure that one's easier. There's a manhole with a traffic cone. I assume it doesn't do anything if the rocket launcher didn't do anything. Okay. I'm gonna say for good measure, leave that space open. Probably. My instinct weirdly says that I like pick up those guys, drop them off. So these are the ones I've picked up already. So I'd pick up these 2 by rounding this corner, and then drop them off, and then pick up this guy, and then oh my god, it's so much easier than the last one. All right, I think the gimmick of Vela is that the difficulty curve has been randomized. Like, I'm pretty sure this is right. I mean, part of the reason why this seems easier is just, like, instinct from, like, getting a better sense over time of, like, where the pinch points are, the things that, like, have to be done at a certain point. So only 2 left open in Vela. Okay. Let me look at... Delphinus 15. That's a lot of green. This is 2-car, which is like a different type of puzzle for green. There's like 2 sets of parameters. With 1 car, you always have to do all greens last. When you have 2 cars, you can do shenanigans. So the question is simply, how necessary are the shenanigans? It seems like you don't want more than 1 green loaded at a time until the end, is how I presume you would do it. That doesn't look doable at all. This looks awful, frankly. Okay, hold on. How about we pick up 1 green and, like, very carefully avoid... No, I think you have to avoid the green... No, you can't avoid the greens entirely. Can you? Just kidding, you could. But you would not be able to complete the level if you did it in this fashion. This would allow you to drop all the oranges off without touching any of the greens. Otherwise, the path is a lot more complicated, but I think that's the point. I think you need a complicated path for one such as this. So let's say, for the sake of argument, We do that, and then we pick up a new orange. That sucks, though. That can't be done. So we drop off. We drop off one green and pick up another green. And then you can't pick up both greens, so like that's not doable. Maybe it's some weird thing where like you can, but you do this last? I don't think so. No, because you wouldn't be able to like... This path does not afford you the opportunity to like pick up or drop off any oranges, but it's a fun idea. It feels like part of the trick is that I should be interfacing with green early here. So I can pick up my first orange and then drop him off. And then pick up my second orange and then drop him off. And then be physically unable to complete the task. And then reset. It is an interesting notion to like... pick up a second green without needing him, but if you... No, that's horrific. You can't do that. If you hit it first, you could do it like that. Is the idea that... No, that doesn't work because you end up picking up two greens and you immediately lose. So you can't start by like picking up like an inconveniently placed green to make it easier for you to pick them up later in sequence. The only options are to try and ignore them completely, which seems untenable, or to be selective about using them in one space and working around that. You might be able to pick up inconvenient orange and get different orange. But how would you ever get to the last orange and back to here? But frankly, the way this is laid out, how would you do that with any orange? No matter which one you picked up first. Because you can't hold two at a time if you take this pass that goes by the green. I think if you don't do that, you can't pick up every passenger to begin with. So, this path, in theory, is you pick up a green... No, you pick up both greens. This sucks. This immediately sucks. Okay, great. Ahoy, Arcadius. Welcome to the stream. We're ratcheting up the difficulty of our train-related puzzles. And it is... a suitable challenge. How is Saturday going? I hope it's treating you better than Friday was going, Arcadius. Drop him off, pick him up. That's a little interesting. If I'm intuiting this right, I'm like filling the first slot with green and then dropping him off up here so that I pick up the second one and drop him off here before picking up the third one. All in slot 1, leaving slot 2 clean. It was a markedly better day today. That's good. Did the malicious people who shall not be described in further detail appear as feared? So I pick up him, drop him off, pick up him. No. It's just, it feels like the way this level is constructed, I need to be able to hold 2 oranges at a time in a way that, like, is not physically possible. And I hate that for me. If I can find a way to use 1 space from here. Wait, that's not quite right, is it? Pick up first, drop them off. Oh yeah, we pick up first there. So we pick up last here. And this one's already full. So from this space, if we can find a way to interact with the oranges using only 1 passenger space to like fill the map, then like we did it. Looking at this makes me think that's not possible though. Zach says, I wonder if anyone's ever written a sci-fi novel that features space trains as the main means of space travel. I assume it's happened. I don't actually know that much about the stage musical Starlight Express, but I assume it's something like that. I remember seeing an anime series on some like bizarre like local cable anime channel my parents had at one of their houses in Pennsylvania that definitely like involved space trains. I didn't remember catching all that much of it because it was like on at a weird time or something. But, like I think it's like an old series, maybe from like the 80s or something. Is there like a... Just with the 1 space, it just doesn't seem possible to like make progress without... I mean, I pick him up and drop him off. And they're just kind of like screwed after that. There's no way to fill the second car first, or that would solve one of the other ones I'm stuck on. I can see how you would think that, but Starlight Express is nothing like that. Wait, tell me exactly what Starlight Express is like then. I must know. Aren't all the roller skaters supposed to be a train in space? I mean, come on. If not, what are we doing here? Is this maybe something? The game is lagging again? Don't worry about it. These are the times that try men's souls, by which I mean make me concerned about my hardware. Not so much my wetware. The hardware, though. I don't love that it did it like twice back to back. So this picks up last orange. Which means there's absolutely no hope of... Wait, what did I think I was doing here? I was not cooking. There are toy trains, and the whole play is a young boy playing with his set of toy trains and making up a story with them. That's what you described, right? Dude, toy trains? That's so bizarre. How bizarre? A question that must be asked routinely. I hate this one. This one in particular, bad spot on the map. Not a fan. This first bit is so interesting, and it handles so much of the map really efficiently, but I think it makes it impossible to, like, have enough interaction with the oranges to, like, do what I need to do. But the oranges are, like, so far from start. I'm really unclear as to, like, what I'm doing at all. Upper corner. So I can make a maneuver where I take one green right away, because I think if I cut any further over, it's just like outright impossible to do orange like at all. And this lets me clear the first orange by dropping him off right away, and then pick up the leftmost orange and, like, do this. But then, like, how do I do that? I can't. There's no doink ability with the green ones where, like, I could pass by them and ignore them. It's exactly the same thing except for the space part and the sci-fi part. Yeah, and also the toys, the trains are toys. But, like, basically exactly what you asked for when you account for all that, Zachary, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what you said, and chat is a tool that doesn't exist, so there's just no way for me to scroll up and check what you said. It just can't happen. Guess I'd have to do this, and then this, and then no, that wouldn't work. If they weren't green, you could probably do something like that. But, like, in order, like, this is the one guy I've already dropped off, so I can't drop off another guy if I go here. And I'm sure that, like, I don't know. I guess this would permit me to drop him off and then get, like, second. How would I ever come back for the last one if I, like, started doing all the oranges? Oh, that's so annoying. You could actually just, like, drop off all of the oranges if there was, like, well, I guess you'd need, like, a whole column. It's not that close. Feels close. Like, if you go any further to the right, then you're picking up green guys, and they're ruining your car, so you can't pick these guys up in one trip to just, like, loop them out. There's some, like, high-level trick to this one that I'm absolutely not resonating with. Go back and take a look at, like, 10. Oh, yeah. And then 11's really similar, isn't it? Or was 13 similar? What was I doing here? Lord. So this one has... This appears to be not progress. So I have, alright, the one purple and the one orange that have to be delivered before I pick up any greens, probably? Maybe that's a false assumption. Maybe I pick up one green and then do a bunch of malarkey and then get the last green. It's even fine to drop him off, I guess. So do this. Pick him up, drop him off. Pick him up. Wait, am I stupid? I think I was just operating under like an insanely. Oh no, this is one car. That's why. Now, I've been working. I've been doing 2 car for too long. Of course, that would be much too easy. That's why that seems really easy. Okay. 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 Focus up. So yes, with 1 car, we must do all greens last, and they have to hit destination points before we can pick up the other one, which is like not ideal. Feels very likely that this is where this ends. Seems hard to imagine that not being true. I guess it arguably could be like here, but like you pretty much have to touch this box and then immediately leave. Why not work forward and backward at the same time? Because it doesn't make any sense? Good call. I feel quite confident this is nothing. Like, pick up purple, drop him off, and get orange and drop him off, and then snake to death. Oh, Jakey. We've made some progress, but we are encountering some challenging puzzles. And we're hopping around like madmen. The TV show. Did we get 13? I think I looked at this. I don't know if I spent a lot of time on this. Hey, it's my sister, Funny Godmother. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 103-month resub. Thank you very much. Out on a walk. Hello, all. Choo choo. Hello and choo choo to you too. Through the weekend, we have slowly been taste testing all the Pokemon Krispy Kreme donuts. I know that you were eager to learn about them to some extent. At this point, we've tried all of the dedicated Pokemon ones except, believe it or not, Pikachu. We may be on cooldown for that if someone wants to trigger that. Might just have to do a free one because my sister's here and we have to find out about the Pikachu one. Hope your review is kind of accurate. Did you post one to the Discord, or did I miss? Am I not remembering? You said about Pikachu? So, another case with 1 car, which means I can't touch any greens until I've done all the oranges. Ah, I posted Funny Godmother. Okay. Let's do a choo-choo. Hey, this is something. This looks promising. Do this. Ooh, that's a problem. Maybe you could... Maybe the game would freeze a little bit again. That's so annoying. How can it be true? How can it be true? How can she slap? Part of the issue is this, right? Part of the issue is this. The mini cups are already scalped. You don't mean that you sold the one that you posted a picture of, do you, Jakey? I didn't realize those were mini cups. I thought that they looked larger. Is there a way to make better use? That's worse use, isn't it? There's so much space in the middle, so much room for activities. Full size but donut. Oh, the cups come with donut holes? Question mark? They were like coffee cups and assumed they were filled with coffee to order. But you gotta do both orange first. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's odd. So I think it's perfectly mirrored. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The exit's in the middle, and the greens are in the middle. By the way, we're playing Cosmic Express. It's a game where you make train tracks to find a path that will deliver all of the aliens to color-coordinated destination points for them. But we're working in a segment of the game currently that has slimy green aliens that make the train too stinky for other aliens to want to join in on. Which creates a specific sort of order of operations. Well, perhaps I'll ponder this over. I think... Well, my sister's in chat. I think it is the ideal time. For those who don't know, my sister, Funny Godmother, also streams here on Twitch. As she likes to put it, the family that twitches together stays together, I think is the thing that she says. Do I know my own chat bot commands? Probably not. Great. Awesome. And she's also a notorious Pikachu fan with many Pikachus on display in a similar fashion to how I have so many Squirtles handy at all times. But as a Pikachu
Donut
fan...
button, Sam and Max. Donut button.
There you go. So... Here's our Pikachu donut presentation. I have one where the Pikachu fell like right off. Most of them have stayed adhered to the donuts, but for some reason one of the 2 Pikachus that comes in the box, or came in my box rather, just like was not attached to its donut at all. Now there's a sort of lightning bolt pattern made of non-pareil, snow caps, as you might recognize them from movie theater snack jargon. It is a pretty good Pika. I normally like to have the fondant right away. We'll save him for now. So I think other than the texture from that, I think this is just a shell donut with like a lemon cream filling. The ends of the donut are a little insulated from the filling. So just a little bit of a hint of the lemon from there, which may be an indicator that, as Jakey put it in his review, that the lemon flavor is very intense, but we'll find out. It is intense. That is true. I don't hate it. I mean, for one of the recent Halloween ones, they did like a lemon lime cream that I found mildly objectionable. This I don't think has the same issue. I can definitely see how someone might find that off-putting. It kind of seems like just like a lemon custard. Maybe if I think your mileage may vary. I get it. The non-praise are an interesting texture. They're a little bit more intense than an average sprinkle, and I think the Squirtle donut had like a smaller quantity of these, not quite so focused as the lightning bolt shapes. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't find the lemon objectionable, but it is strong. I do think it might be, regrettably, my least favorite of the five Pokemon varieties. Not by like a lot, by like a small quantity. Like, I mostly have everything at A other than Squirtle, which I found like a really surprising subtle cut above the rest. Not just because he's Squirtle. I just happen to like what they were doing with the Squirtle a little bit more than the others. Um, this is maybe like, for me, this is maybe like an A minus. I still like it. I've been impressed with this collection. I think they. I was talking earlier when I was trying the Jigglypuff donut about how like generally I'm impressed with the collection, and I feel like I get a sense that like a greater effort was made to like distinguish them with flavor and not just do a big old design on them. Which, like, don't get me wrong, I like the big old designs, but like at the end of the day, a lot of the time they're kind of just recycling similar ingredients, so you're not getting like a distinct experience necessarily from like some of the theme collections. I appreciate the aesthetic of the non-praise. I'm not sure that they're doing a lot, in my opinion, to add to the experience. They're not like a huge detraction. Like I don't think I would go so far as to give it a B plus for me personally as a result of that. But like, I mean, there's certainly no like gravel sprinkles that you get on those awful like throwaway Halloween donuts. Yeah, actually, I meant to. I feel like I should know this. Funny Godmother, are you going to Worlds this year? Did you mention that? Oh, you did mention. Have been building decks to go to the Worlds side events. That's cool. That's exciting. I'm really stoked for Worlds. I was saying yesterday. Shockingly, zero of these at work. I mean, they've been like really difficult to get. Really is overstating it. Like they've had supply of the full dozen so far, and like there have been varying reports of people online about how difficult they've found it to get particular donuts. Krispy Kreme is a little weird in that they like allocate for like a full promotional run, and then they'll like use everything for a day and then sell out for a day, but then like have them fully in stock the next day. It's a little difficult. No, stream is not done. We're having another one of our Pokemon donuts, and I'm taking my time on it. I've been a little stuck with some of the train situations. Need to come out here and do a Voodoo Donut special. Are they also doing a Pokemon crossover? Lol, the even. I am excited for you uh to see the Pokemon Play Lab experience in person. Yeah, I feel like I should have some analog of like this level of lemon intensity and what I would equate it to. Um, it's I would say it's stronger than a lemon starburst if that helps. That's what time it is. I think it's scooter time. Kind of like, yeah, I think it's I mean it's like lemon curd, but like I feel like I have some I feel like I've experienced something that was similar to this that wasn't a Krispy Kreme because like I think the only other time I've had like a lemon donut through Krispy Kreme was the lemon lime one, and that I didn't like the lemon lime version of it. Seeing real Pokemon professors teaching real humans Pokemon things using the lab I designed. Might be a core memory. I mean, you've worked hard and you earned it, for sure. Jakey says, time to see if Timu can ship scalped Pokemon cards from Japan decently. Best of luck. I don't know what the current state of any relevant tariffs are. I assume that could be a headache. I'm still kind of surprised that the life-size Flareon did not end up catching like a problem from that. Alright. I'm gonna do a quick hand rinse so that I don't get a lemon keyboard. I'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the background music. You want the... Now you can chat with each other on the chat screen. I trust you. Quick, while I'm gone, say something nice about my sister. I'm not sure I understand how this prank works. Yeah, I mean, I understand Jakey's expressed opinion that that might be too sweet of a donut, but like also you have to keep in mind that like like a tigger's tail is made out of spring. I'm like 100% sugar basically. They did not give me a Pokemon box. No, they did not. I assume they've been popular enough that whatever the stock was, other than like I think like every day there's like limited gold boxes or something. I think there's regular ones. I'm not 100% about that. Yeah, that'll show her, Demolition. My sister will never know that you left that comment in chat while I wasn't looking. Is that how this works? I think I get it. By the way, I did see you come in, Demolition. Hello, I hope you're doing well with the move and all the things. Let's go back over to the game, and I will not succeed at it. Because I feel like I'm close on this, but I feel like I've been close on like 4 different ones that I had to like pause on because I wasn't making progress. They didn't have the bundle ready. You didn't get a Pokemon box. I'm not sure if it's as simple as that, at least near me. Unless like all the other like custom orders that were there were also not Pokemon, because none of those were Pokemon boxes. Now, granted, I showed up like 3 minutes early or something to mine, and like they were just slow, so they packed it up. But like, I don't think that's what happened. Okay, so I was looking at this before, and I don't think that there's any benefit to favoring one side over the other, because it's perfectly mirrored like all things should be. Well, then I'm just trapped forever. This can't be correct, right? There's not enough runway. Yeah, the closest Krispy Kreme to here is 30 miles away. It's not close. Luckily, I had one of my office is like one of the few outright perks that we have is that we're permitted to choose like 3 days in the summer to take as half days, and I'd like already selected one to be yesterday, and like when the donuts were like announced to come out this week, I was like, I guess I could just get them the same day as the stream that way. So sure. Is it the case that I mean, you would have to come this far out. And I'd have to... also, Fine Godmother, have you seen this week's... Have you been keeping up with Strange New Worlds? Because we finally got the promised Muppet episode this week. This simply does not work. Right? Unless... Canceled Paramount in anger a while back. That does seem like a perfectly normal thing to do. These 3 Pokemon cards aren't sealed. Oh, I misunderstood. So, like, you've received the box of Scout's Timu cards and now are assessing the, like, quote-unquote damages. I see. I understand. Scooter Time Phase 1 was rainy. Was it as rainy as the really wet picture from earlier this week, Zacula? That was not Scooter Time, right? Or was that? Was that technically Scooter Time? God, I really thought I was, like, cooking with this, like, orange edge case situation. How would one? How would one? How would one at all? Found the baby bunny. Was that part of the stated goal of this specific walk? This looks horrible. This is horrible. What am I doing? It would not be possible to take the orange guy, the other one, without ruining my own day. Salem and I walking home from a restaurant times. Does Salem have their own scooter? Do you ever share scooter time? Or is it simply too intimate to share scooter time? An absolute downpour yesterday, 0.4 inches of rain in 10 minutes with 50-mile-per-hour winds. We had something, I don't know if it was quite that bad, but something really similar happened here on Thursday. And he is always goal, came back out to see me, love him. That also is a very sensible emotional reaction to all things.
Did somebody say birthday?
Is it possible that somebody said birthday? I guess it's a baby bunny, right? Too intimate to share scooter time with a partner who I've lived with for like 5 years. Yeah, that's what I'm asking you, Zacula. Like, some things are intimate, and then some things are intimate. I've decided I'm too stupid for this. Where am I gonna go? I'm going to go to... You know what? Let's go to Ursa Major. Interesting. I haven't looked at this one at all yet. It's a 2-train car setup. And we got purples and oranges. And they're set up in a really irritating way. Such that these fountains are cramping my style. Oop, I scrolled in. Didn't mean to do that. My instinct says start by, like, doing this. Get, like, one of each. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I just want a bunch of one. Maybe, like, 2 purples. And drop them off. Ooh. drop them off, and then drop off. No, that's certainly not right, but it's interesting. Looking at this, though, it does make me think that one must choose a color to start with. Sam does not have a scooter. Sometimes we share scooter time, but this is the thing. This thing basically has no torque, so two people on it up a gentle hill is a no-go. Okay. I understand. I mean, I was thinking, like, that's certainly, like, one of the possible applications of a shared scooter time. I was kind of thinking more like, what if we held hands while parallel scooting? But, like, I'm afraid that, like, you get in trouble on Twitch for talking about parallel scooting. Is there, like, a world where I could... Oh, that, like, almost works. That, like, almost works. Thought this was a safe for work stream. I mean, that's... I don't know what to tell you. That feels like that's on you. You got a full art Ethan's Mag Cargo in Japanese? Nice. Do you specifically prefer the Japanese ones? I forget if you mentioned... I know you were talking about your collection of, like, Rotoms and Porygons recently on one of my sister's streams. You mentioned a Japanese artist, but, like, because of the way that art translates in the card game, that doesn't necessarily mean that you collect specifically the Japanese cards. The premarital hand-holding that'll get you. So the no need to be concerned about parallel scooting then, I guess, is the takeaway from that. Arcadius? Ooh, wait. Wait, does this work? Hey, chat, does this work? Pick up a purple. Pick up a purple. Drop off 2 purples. Pick up a purple. Pick up an orange. Drop off the last purple. Drop off the last orange. Pick up orange. Pick up orange. Pass go. Collect $200. All right.
Oh my, yes.
A level 1 difficulty that we actually completed. It's progress. Okay, so from this angle, it looks less like a rocket launcher and more like a rocket that's crashing into the ground. We saw one of these earlier, and it was making me crazy because it has no mechanical function, and it's so conspicuous. It seems truly bizarre for that to be true. Okay. So interestingly, we have 2 square groups of dudes, and 2... Oh, we have double exit as well.
This person is Sakura!
Sakura is the one convincing everyone to hold hands? That is scandalous. What if we did like that, and then... That seems horrible.
Santa Claus!
And then I pick up... Oh, wait. I pick... Oh, that's like almost works. If I could just hit 2 of these... And then, like, swing... Oh, this is, like, also in the way. That wouldn't work. You hadn't heard Santa Claus? That's from Sam and Max Season 2, Episode 1, where they go to the North Pole because Santa Claus is, like, sending everyone, like, violent and destructive toys, and they're like... For some reason, like... Sam, like, implies that he has, like, a grudge against Santa Claus, the way he describes him. He doesn't, like, specifically say something went down between them, but he, like, describes him in this way that's, like, almost like an eldritch horror. And then he's like, we have to go deal with Santa Claus! I drop off the top two, and then I drop off the bottom two, and then the purple guys are done. Maybe I can work with this. And then I like pick up those two and drop them off on the bottom. And then, nope. Hold on. I pick up the top two and drop them off at the bottom. And then, okay, hold on. I pick up, I can't pick up the ones on the right side, which is what I want. I want to pick up the ones on the right side. Does this work? Ooh. I think that does work. I kind of like these ones that just, they look like a board game when you're done. They kind of all should do that, but I don't necessarily find that they do. So I pick up two guys, and then I specifically drop them off. And then I pick up the other two guys, and then I drop them off. And then I pick up two orange guys in a very specific situation, and drop them off. And I get the last two guys, and hit them up on the way out. And that solves one of my two exits, but not both of them. It gives me access to three. What's three look like? Kind of similar, but the guys are all spread out, and there's slightly fewer of them. Two cars. So, like... Nah, that ain't it. Kind of feels like I want to pick up these guys that are nearby and then like drop them off and then like loop back somehow. But you kind of seems like it'll be necessary to pick up two purples together and two oranges together at some point to make this work. Boy, this actually stinks. It's really annoying. Probably would specifically like to do that. No, wait, whether I like it or not, I'm picking up that purple. If I go that way. I could potentially doink here. And then, like, pick up purple, pick up purple. Drop them off and pick up one orange. But if I do that in that way, then I would have to somehow get the last purple guy to an impossible to reach location. Not a great situation for one such as me. Is it better if I do orange for some reason I can't, like, ascertain? Pass by here. Get the last orange. Then you block off that purple forever and can't interact with him. Come back to this. Can I relatively easily work this out? I bet if I was feeling like really cheeky and I took a screenshot of this and just like reverse engineered the things I did with purple and orange, this would be something. No, actually it wouldn't. Because it's not mirrored horizontally. Ooh. That's okay. So I suppose you have to end with purples. And that makes sense. So you gotta start with orange. This sounds a lot harder than the other one, to be honest. Night demolition, good luck with the rest of your moving process. And of course, the rest of your weekend. In order for that to work at all, I would have needed to pick these guys up from a different location, which would not be possible. So you must do purple last. Halfway through the train ride, and it's still raining. Is it better or worse than before, Zacula? Oh, I could tell you, welcome to the stream. How's it going? That is a somewhat efficient way of getting all of the purples where they need to go. No, it's not quite right, is it? I don't know if that's actually workable, but it might be. So working backwards, the next thing I would want is something like that intersects with like 2 of these. That looks like that's a problem. Still, why would that not be a problem? It's still blocked off. I don't know. Probability of dry scooter time phase 2 plummeting rapidly. You hate to see that. Does your scooter have a force field bubble that rejects the water? You have one of those fancy hydrophobic scooters? Yeah, the problem with that... I would somehow need this... It's easy enough to reverse engineer that purple bit. Scooter has a go lever and a not go lever. Fairly simple machine. Okay, but answer me this. Is it like an Inspector Gadget scooter that like is part of your coat? Or like you have a false leg that becomes the scooter? This is real close, man. But like that's a huge problem because then the purples are like not accessible. surprisingly difficult. I'll revisit that. That seems much more difficult than the one I solved. And unfortunately leads to more space. More usable space. No, just a regular scooter I got from Jeff Bezos' own Amazon.com. And it doesn't try to kill you or anything, just like, I worry about that sometimes. Does this do anything for me? I drop off orange closest to entrance and purple closest to exit. Then get both of the oranges and then drop them off. And then get the purples and drop them off. Just random vibes. Do random vibes happen to solve this one? It feels good. That should be fine. I wasn't expecting to pick him up that early, but that should be fine. Oh my goodness, I just like did some random stuff and it's done. Does whisper that unions are evil and mass surveillance is good, but you can kind of just ignore that. Yeah, I mean, these days most technology does that and you're kind of just forced to ignore it, right? Like, we all have that experience. And, like, not even just technology, sometimes just, like, when you're hanging out, like, making dinner for yourself. Like, that's a common experience that we all have that's not, like, alarming, I'm pretty sure. Okay. 4 purple, 2 orange. 1 cup. You know how it goes. I'm either being very clever or very ridiculous. That doesn't work. But that doesn't work. So I got 2 guys, and I drop them both off here. And then I pick up 2 guys, and I can't ever leave this place. Got it? Understood. I'm gonna go back to this orange thing. The orange thing is an interesting idea. It's not incredibly efficient, but it does make it so you could hypothetically focus on the purple. It's probably better to just not do it, though. But it's like a fun idea. Sega says, saw a photo of a flock hammer the other day that someone had just straight up shot multiple times with a gun. Now here's, and you know, this is just a scientific curiosity. Was there indication that it having been shot several times with a gun ceased its functionality? I just want to say whoever did that couldn't have done it because they were with me at the bowling alley at the time. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was already aware of that. Doesn't seem like it would be beneficial. Actually, maybe the orange way is the only way to go. Because if I tried to drop off 1 orange, would I be able to, like, pick up all the purples and drop them off at the edge of the level or like that? I'm gonna do some more work on this. Turns out being shot multiple times with gun is detrimental to flock hammer's ability to function. Fascinating. The wonders they work with technology these days. You would have to start on the left, simply because that's where the train is. You understand. So I could, like, pick up... Oh, wait a minute. This might be something. I pick up an orange and drop off an orange, and then pick up an orange, and then pick up a purple, and drop him off, and then pick up this purple and drop him off. So I have the orange with me already. And then let's say I get the top purple, because he's the hardest to like match up with one of these in like running order. And then I just like drop off orange. I guess drop off purple, pick up purple, drop off purple. A lot of puzzle games are interesting in the fact that like I feel like I've learned a bit about how the intended systems and stuff work, but like if I stop playing this game today and you like presented me with a puzzle from this game 2 weeks from now, I feel like I would have no useful information, no additional benefit towards solving it. Maybe like a 5? 5 in Ursa Major? Ursa Major seems like it's where my brain is firing right now. There's also a ton of copper wire, some gold, and 64 gigabytes of RAM in each one of those cameras. But, like, surely those don't function if you shoot them with gun. That ain't right. That's right. But I would then have to, like, touch the exit, touch the guy, touch 2 exits, touch 2 guys. No, that doesn't work. Touch the exit, touch this guy. But that's a problem, yeah? Can I, like... get both purple guys? Drop one off. I'm not even sure I've processed this correctly. This might work. Get both the purples, I ignore the orange guy right away, drop off a purple, get the orange, and then I think the rest of this works as I drew this up. Ooh, simultaneous drop off. They're saying he's the best to ever do it. Look at me go. Unstoppable. Until I reach the end of the track. That's how trains kind of work. I'm genuinely kind of fascinated by the fact that there aren't more rules in play. The initial impression I had of this game is that, like, it was broken up into a bunch of systems, and each system would have, like, a little rule that you'd play with until the developers were sort of like, and we can't think of anything else to do with that for now. Until maybe it got incorporated later in a more complicated sector. So it's interesting. Rocket. Also, the CEO of Flock the other day was like, we hear you. Cops using the Flock camera network to stalk their ex-girlfriend is bad, so we're going to implement some unspecified safeguards that'll probably be implemented sometime in 2027. I feel like I saw some video of, like, a Flock spokesperson who was just sort of like, not even, like, the second part of that. They're like, wow, that's bad. It was just like, yeah. And it's like, like, do something about it. So let's say drop off 2 orange guys at the end and tote around a purple. No, that's no good. Because I'd have to, like, pass through the middle right then, or I'd block it off just by passing by it. So that means... Ooh, that's interesting. Let's pick up a purple and an orange. And then, like, drop off the orange. And then get another... orange. Now this works. So I have two. It's purple and orange. Then I only have purple. And then I go around and I get orange. And I drop off purple, so I only have orange. And then I have orange and purple. And then I drop them off in the middle. Which was like my main goal. Because I have to pass through the middle, having already filled these edge boxes where it's impossible to ever fill the middle. It's awful. Only anyone could do anything about it. Yeah, it's like the time that I had the, like, window delay, and they were like, yeah, we're just, like, changing your appointment after asking you to, like, move all the furniture in your house for an expected period of about a day for us to, like, ruin your house by opening up all the windows to replace them. And, you know, that's just it. We're not doing anything cool. We're not helping you out at all. We're just telling you that you're screwed for, like, a couple days instead of just one day. And I was like, you really not going to do anything about that? And they're like, what do you want me to do? Also, it's like that meme of, like, there's no way to stop gun violence as the only country where it's routinely a problem. Yeah. Whoa, your ceiling caved in? Crazy. If only that had been preventable. Yeah. If only the plumber had even, like, that much sense of urgency or what have you. This is interesting. I think I'm close, but I think I've made an error here. I think it is necessary. You start by doing this. You drop off this orange guy before you cross through here, because otherwise it sucks to, like, do this. So you, like, get orange and drop him off. And then you have I think doing it this way, I have to, like, pick up orange, drop off orange, have orange, purple, drop off orange, have purple, get orange, so have orange, purple, drop off purple, get purple, drop off orange, purple. So all the oranges are filled, and then you just need to pick up purple and drop them off. Train ride almost over. Will update on scooter time moisture levels. Please do. I am concerned you could get wet down there. This is I like this puzzle. This one in particular is really good. The constraints are, like, very clear, but it's tricky. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of them are clear if you're, like, smarter than me. But, like, that one felt good to do. Okay. So the question is, where to next? There's only one in Vela I didn't... What's the one I didn't do in Vela? Oh, yeah, this one. Right, this guy. It's so doable. Constraints are somewhat clear. I can't imagine a world where I would pick up something on the other side of this chasm before getting these two. Assuming I start resembling this at all. Although... a random chaotic thought. What if I only do the one edge first? Come back to that other guy later by leaving the outside open. Not immediately seeing how that helps, but it's a different approach and it could yield something. Oh no, wait. In order to have the... No, that doesn't work. The only way to make that work makes it impossible to complete the level. Which, as it turns out, is an issue. So this is where we started, is this notion that I pick up 2 and drop off 1 on either side, and then pick up another 2 to drop across the middle. It's a similar sort of concept to the one we were just doing, where it was like, the constraints are mainly, there's a very specific way, there are certain circumstances that must be met before crossing through the middle. Now this one's more complicated because it has like multiple rows to consider and like way more dudes, even though they're like one color. So it's interesting how that's balanced. And the similar situation is sort of like, you must... I just don't understand how you, like, this can't... Wait, maybe... This, okay. Maybe... It's something like this? Where... I just don't have enough cargo space. But so, like, if I do this start, right? I pick up 2 guys and I put them on either end. And then instead of trying to cut across, the problem is that, like, the second time through, you kind of need to be carrying all 4 guys if you, like, try to make a second cut all the way across. But if I do this, I pick up 2 more and then I drop them in the middle. And so the trick is, I just need to be able to place everyone else. So, like, I then, like, pick up this guy and then drop him off on the edge because I'm, like, kind of closing it off to the whole rest of the map. And then I have, like, 2 guys. And I drop off 1. Wait, this totally works. Wait, this totally works. This totally works. Watch it. Do the middle. Do the corner. Get the guy. Get a second guy. Fill the corner. Get this guy. Fill the last 2. Get out of dodge. It works. And that's the last Vela, isn't it? Isn't there an achievement for that? I didn't see what happened. I don't know what that means. Sad to report, I might get wet down there. I'm sorry to hear it. Hopefully somehow the minimal chance of staying dry supersedes all other possibilities. Where are we at? I want to see... Go to Taurus. Ooh! A new mechanic has appeared. The red box can contain any type of alien. I presume. Otherwise, I'm really confused as to how this works. How would I, do this, however? I guess I drop off one. And I drop off the other, but then I just... What happens when I do this? Does it do what I expect it to do? Okay, it does. The red can accept anything. Kind of have to get both. Oh. Get both purples and drop them off at the earliest. Yeah, okay. That works. That's not that hard. It's just a matter of... It's kind of similar to, like, planning when you can pick up and drop off the greens. I love that we've reached a point in my mom's internet literacy, however it came about, that she says, "Bravo, Vasco, you are so locked in now," which is true, and also just a little funny. I bet your mom doesn't know what locked in means. So in this case, all of the oranges must be dropped off in red box. Which is difficult because I would pick him up when I have no other passenger and hit a red box before the purple. So even though this looks good, this fails. They make good little noises. Yeah, purple's gone. We're toast. I mean, I knew it. I just wanted to demonstrate it. That was gonna melt at room temperature anyway. I just wanted to get rid of it. These weird visions of us starting a family streaming platform. I feel like it requires not just more money, but like an order and magnitude more money than you have, which is like several orders in magnitude more money than I have. Is there a way? I get orange, and I drop it off, and then I don't interact with that other one. So I have an orange. So, at that point, the way I've done this... It's not as complicated as it seemed in my head, but just by... So I pick up one orange, and I drop him off, and then I get orange purple, and because the next thing I route to is purple, it doesn't matter that purple is second. So I drop him off with orange in one, and then I drop off orange, so I'm empty, and I pick up two orange, and I just route to hit the other red box. I just, you know, have to make more money first. Easy. They say the first million's the hardest, right? So once we get there, then it's easy. Yeah, for sure. Taurus. I like Taurus. Taurus is fun. Oh, it's got split again, huh? I think this works. This doesn't seem that hard. I get purple and drop him off, and then drop off orange in a red box, and then pick up purple in such a way that he can't conflict with anything. Oh, it's a one card. Good work, Vasco. You did it. You figured out why you didn't do it. They get me with that sometimes, you know? That's not workable. Start over. Maybe we can use this to take the other exit. Yes, we could use this path to take the other exit, I think. Purple to purple, get orange, drop him in a box. Then... no, because we don't pass by the other orange box. Wait, though? What if we just did that? What if we just made that really small change? Final scooter time report, soggy. You hate to see it. You hate to feel it, too. Do you have... does your domicile have... That's interesting. When you have a split, when you drop everyone off, both of them light up green. It makes sense. I just haven't paid attention to that. Does the entrance to your domicile have like a drying like sheet of energy? Like a force field that just sort of immediately evaporates all the water off of you, so when you walk through it, you're just dry? Domicile is a fun word. It is! I'm glad you appreciate it. Not everyone appreciates just like a good word. Oh, that sucks. Wait, get orange. Drop off orange. Get orange and purple. No, that sucks. Get orange and purple. Hit orange, then purple. Then... purple, orange, purple, orange. I don't know how to explain this to you other than, like, Tauros is, like, completely my jam, and that, like, everything here just makes perfect sense to me, and I see the Matrix code. He says, like, immediately before, like, a completely impossible puzzle that he embarrasses himself on. Fun fact, actually, the entrance to my domicile has a broken rain gutter, so when it rains, there's a waterfall just outside the front door. Oh, so, like, almost the opposite of that, like, nearly fictional thing that I described that, like, would have helped you. Something that actually just makes your life a little worse. That's fascinating. The house is a never-ending nightmare. What's the status of the house? Do you own the house? Are you renting it? Is it like a duplex? What's going on over there? Let me try this one again. I gotta get the left exit. Which requires... Get this, touch that. No, it doesn't work because again, this is a single carriage situation. I have a great deal of sympathy for house stress. I'm sure I don't have it as bad as many people do, but like I've had a lot of house stress. I just gotta get that good as it be. House is owned by Sam's grandfather from the 60s, but not the good 60s, the cheaply built prefab 60s. Okay. No, house is being sold sometime next year and you will be moving. Do you have plans for that lined up, or is that just like a thing you know is on the horizon? That's tough. Is there a different way to work this? I get like... I don't think so. I think you kind of have to like do this corner. If you're planning on exiting left, I think you kind of have to do all this business at once. in what way do you... I guess you would go through the middle and then grab him, but then you can't connect to the exit, is the thing about that. Yes, my sister definitely understands a thing or two about water not respecting boundaries. That's certainly true. On the horizon for now, probably going to move to DC proper since the suburbs in Maryland and Virginia are getting to the point where it'll be cheaper to live in the city. Yikes, really? That's unintuitive. I'm not like immediately aware of a lot of points in history where like that sort of thing is true. That seems really insane to me. From what I grasp of that situation, that seems insane. But hey, hypothetically, that could reduce scooter time, yeah? And then you have to worry less about the rain. You see how the bright side works? I'm not, like, intimately familiar with it. We're on kind of a last name basis. Wow, this exit seems a lot harder than the other one. Because I want this, you understand? How could I guess it's not possible, right? Like you would have to like... I need this to be purple. Is that something I can manage? In this moment, it feels like no. Also, taxes would be simpler. Hey, I like that. I like the sound of that. Brother. I mean, this guy's gotta be purple. There's not a way for this orange to, like, ignore the mystery box, huh? Is there? Is there a way I could manage that? Again, it sure doesn't feel like it. The game froze again, 3 times. It doesn't crash. It's not Rise of the Golden Idol. Which is, I think, Zacula's second favorite thing about this game. There's no way. There was just no way. Why don't I just take an orange guy for a ride out of town? That seems like fun for him, huh? Still holding out hope we'll run into AOC on the street and she'll fall in love with us and want to be a throuple with Salem. You could stay be stay-at-home husbands for her. Computer, run a simulation to determine the likelihood of that. I'm guessing that's like a 50-50. Does that seem right? Oh, maybe like that. Is that possible? No, how would I ever get purple? Maybe no, it's the same. It's the same exact problem, Vasco. No, that cannot be. It cannot be. There sure isn't any way to, like, start with anything on the left if I'm trying to leave on the left. All the attempts to start on the right feel very restrictive as well. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Pick up purple, drop off purple. No, this is the problem. Because I'm passing by this. Obviously, it would be easy if it weren't for the red mystery box. Donk, donk, donk. Donk, donk, donk. Donka, donk, donk. I want to see the left side of Taurus. I want to see the back side of one. I guess I have to go to Zacula's house and, like, look at it from the front door. Did it. Done. Solved it. You know what the trick probably is? Make this purple. Yeah, this is probably the trick. This is purple. Drop off orange. Get purple. Drop off purple. Orange. That's it. That's the trick. That's the trick. You just ignore the really close purple, because obviously you gotta do it. You gotta lick it. Fantastic. More tourists available? Look at the little picnic table. Kind of makes the same spring noise as everything else, but I still like it. Okay. Similar situation to before. Just two reds. One of them's got to end up purple. One of them's got to be orange. Kind of have to cut past one of these right away. It's a 2-car Monty. And if I just had infinite space, then it'd be done. 4 months of gift sub from demo. Wait, how did I not know this, Acula? You're on month 10 of a 12-month gift sub from Demolition. Well, thank you to Demolition. Wherever he at now. There's so many gift months. It's impressive. That's obviously not it. But what if, like, that also wasn't it? Have we considered that possibility? This actually looks insanely difficult. There's probably like a specific side I have to start from because of the way the table and the bush are laid out. Think you drank a little too much and got a headache? That's alright, Jakey. I mentioned yesterday, like, a podcast I was catching up on, and, like, one of the episodes, people were talking about how, like, when they got in their 30s, they experienced, like, 2 beer poisoning, which is a thing I literally have, like, no concept of, because I've never had any alcohol, and, like, they were just sort of saying, like, basically encapsulating as you get older, like, it's harder for your body to process that, but, like, they were just talking about, like, the hard limitation of, like, would, like, go out and, like, meet a friend for a drink, and if I had 2, I would die. Does that start immediately at age 30, Zacula? Zacula's verifying that's real? Had, like, 3 doubles. That's certainly tempting fate a little more, huh? You're in bed now? Well, hey, it's a chill game. I'll try not to get too excited. You get some good rest. Purple guys. This seems impossible. How would you do this? It must be something about going up the middle. If you go up the middle, then you'll like never get to the far corner. How does this work? How does this work at all? How is this doable? Echo says the only podcast he listens to is The Rest is Science with Michael Stevens and Hannah Fry. I mostly listen to like actual play stuff. I don't know. I like fiction, man, and nerd stuff. I like real nerds telling fake stories. Is that a tagline anyone's using? Is that mine? Need to listen to Night Vale. I think I've heard good things about Night Vale. This is a doozy. I don't know how this works at all. So, I mean, the exit track has to connect to, like, the shin bone, as it were. I cannot wrap my head around the geometry of this space. This is really weird. How would you do it? How could you do it? How does this work at all? And the shin bone's connected to the who cares bone. Yeah, man, I'm not a doctor. Dude, no shot. No shot of doing Taurus 5 at 12:15 on a Saturday. That one's ridiculously difficult. Okay. This is also a 2-car Monty. Be aware of the 2-car Monty. Sega says, me and my coworker Caitlin were at the desk and a German guy who'd been staying walked right up to me, parentheses clocked, and asked if I knew any good gay bars. I completely blanked. Partially because I don't go to any gay bars, but for the life of me I couldn't remember the name of Green Lantern, which was embarrassing. I mean, I'm certainly not aware of bars where I live or where I have lived, so is that like a super well-known gay bar then? Green Lantern? Just giving like, dang, you know, like the one? And like Caitlin couldn't help you out? Green Lantern is like the gay bar. Does it send up like a Green Lantern signal so all the gays just know that? So, oh, that's interesting. All of the oranges go in the red boxes. That sounds hard. Because the purple's got to go in the purple boxes. Hold on, though. Nope. What about this? So I pick up 2 oranges and drop off 1. It still kind of leaves you in trouble, huh? Because I would need to, like, drop off the second orange for that to, like, work. Wow, the placement of these purples is absurd. Literally never been there. Genuinely can't remember the last time I went to any gay bar or otherwise. But even I know the Green Lantern, except in that exact moment. That's the worst, right? Like, you know you have the information to help, and you don't have some sort of, like, steampunk contraption that will, like, electrocute your brain to make you say the correct thing. Surely that's what you want in that moment. I know that there's some trick to this. pick up 2... Oh, no, it just sucks. Just show me what this looks like. This is obviously wrong. I just want to see it. So I get 2 oranges, and I drop off 1 orange. But then I pick up a purple, and then he, like, immediately screws everything up by going in the red box. And the same thing happens here, too. And then I don't drop off any purples, and I got 2 oranges. Too bad the Green Lantern isn't affiliated with DC Comics. I mean, I was definitely thrown at first when you mentioned the Green Lantern for that reason. Is this supposed to be some kind of hint? I don't really know what the box is or why it, like, highlights something in particular. Would it be possible to, like, get both oranges? And pick him up. God, how do you, like, move past the purples without, like, ruining something? You can't, like, do, like, an end sweep around here either. Unless you, like, do that somehow. That doesn't seem very plausible. Just now realizing that Green Lantern being called that in the city of DC is probably intentional. Probably, on some level, some person did that intentionally, I would agree. Boy. Well, we definitely reached a point where I'm not vibing with this in the way I was before. I'm certainly not locked in now. The thing I have to figure out is, what is the trick of the purple guys? They're blocked in such a way that you, like, can't easily move them at all. It kind of suggests that somehow or other your course of action is to, like, fill all of the question mark boxes before you go through the middle? How would you accomplish that? If you could accomplish that, it seems feasible, but it doesn't seem feasible to do that to me right now. To me, to do that right now? This is almost something. It's definitely not something, though. Unless... Now we're cooking. Does that work? Put orange in box. Put orange in box. Put orange in box. Put orange in box. Purple, purple, exit. I figured it out. I found the parameter and I worked around it. And it's really funny because it involves, like, no use of the second car until the very end. Incredible. You simply must lock in. Well, there, that one's for you, Zacula. I did it. I figured out how to lock in. We're not doing it on Taurus 5, though. Taurus 9. Oh my lord. Ooh, is that a mailbox? Trauma triggered? So in this case, all of the question mark boxes are purples. I feel like this one's not getting done tonight. We'll take a look at it though. Actually, wait. Is there some place chat wants to be? I've done very little Cassiopeia because Cassiopeia is hard. Okay. I've done all of Vela and Andromeda. Most of Delphinus. Oh, we got all of Ursa Minor done. And then like none Orion, none Perseus. Like half of Ursa Major. Perseus. Sure, let's see if there's something cool going on in Perseus. I beg your pardon? Huge tracts of land. So obviously that middle thing's a black hole, huh? Or I guess a wormhole is probably more appropriate. Good grief. Well, that's a real mind bender, huh? Over to there. No, that can't be right. Because if I went back in the hole, I'd never get out again. What? It's like, man, it's crazy. Often I feel like I know how big a moose is. Then I see a video of a moose next to a car or something. It turns out I always underestimate how big a moose is. I feel like, I don't know, like cartoons or something train like kids from like the United States to think that like a moose is like the size of a cow, and it's definitely bigger than that. I don't know that I know the size of a moose, but it big. So the trick is that I have two cars, and that probably makes this plausible in a way that I didn't appreciate. So I drop off one guy and I pick up one orange. And then like drop off that orange and pick up the last orange. Now this is the same problem as before, it just looks a little nicer. So at some point, I simply must get everything. Yeah, okay. That's doable, probably. Pick up you, go down. Then, like, go over and, like, get both guys. And, like, drop off both guys. Wait, no, I've already covered every exit to the hole. I think I have to get a purple first. I have to drop off a purple so that I can have both oranges. Well, whatever I did different makes sense. Purple, go in the hole. Get an orange, drop off purple. Have two orange. Wormhole, drop off two orange. Get a purple. There's something really satisfying about that warp noise. North America's last surviving megafauna. Are moose dinosaurs? What blasphemy is this? Two puzzles at once? It's worse! It's one puzzle cut in half! And now these are in the... yeah, I mean, I get... That one's gotta be, like, screenshot for this one, just because, like, there's two domes! feels like... I think I want to do something like that. How do I? Wait, how does this work? Oh, it's one car anyway. I was trying to do both at once, but that doesn't work. So, you know, in a manner of speaking, Zacula, this is kind of an underpass. It's a free dome. 2 for the price of 1. I mean, in this economy, I should be more grateful. Man, you had a long day. I bet, Zacula. I mean, that guy stole all that money or whatever. And now he's banned, probably. I have to go through the middle to some capacity, right? Let's say I get this guy. And I drop him off. Nope, where would I go? I do think that guy kind of rules. Now I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you probably didn't express that opinion to your employer. Is that fair to say? I have not wrapped my head around how this works yet. Conceptually, I understand it, but I don't really get the play pattern yet. Will not be expressing that opinion to your boss. Okay, good, solid start, I think. I keep wanting to treat this like the entrance, which would probably be easier just by nature of how destination points are set up. I think that this is like one passenger is really annoying. You want another Pokeball donut prompt? Dealer's choice. It's your points. If you're gonna spend them, you decide when you want to use them. Okay, so that's kind of something. That's kind of something. Pick him up, drop him off, go in here. Pick him up, drop him off, go in here, leave. Okay, got that. Jeez, Jimmy. The fountains might be my favorite, like, little decorative piece. They're just nice. Let's look at Perseus 3. We're pretty close to wrapping, I think.
Donut button, Sam and Max. Donut button.
Okay. Wow. Let's see if we revisit that. Well, we're down to the 1. I'll get the more photogenic one. It's what I generally try to do. Behold, the final of the 6 donuts. The one that is not themed after a specific Pokemon, but rather the concept of the Pokeball. It is merely a vanilla donut half covered in red sprinkles. Presentation acceptable, not particularly exciting, but you know, they can't all be Squirtle after all. I mean, I will say, I feel like I've seen them do worse of trying to like make the icing look like something, but you know, we'll keep this in mind when ranking it. I mean, it's a decorated vanilla donut that's got some sprinkles on it. Probably should have started from like the side, so we could move straight to some sprinkles and get the whole vibe right away. I do look forward to my body being furious with me in the near future. That should be fun. Yeah, I mean, they're regular sprinkles with regular texture. They're mainly just there so that the donut has some texture to it. It's good. Part of me honestly does feel as though a plain donut, not a plain donut, but like a basic donut that has sprinkles on it is somehow like a lost art. I feel like even the places I go that are really nice at making donuts somehow screw it up. And to eat a bit of the discarded donut that fell off because it was like making sound and it was annoying me. It's pretty good. It's better than I expected it to be. But at the end of the day, it is like a vanilla donut half covered in sprinkles. I'm kind of torn between either like a B or a B plus. I expected worse. It's very solid. It's not. If anything, it would get the B plus for the decoration because it's a B. It's a solid B as a donut. I guess it's just a matter of how much you care that it looks a little bit like a Pokeball. And maybe that's where I'll leave it. B with an asterisk. But like it's solid. At a B, like there's nothing really disappointing about it. You could do better. Metaphorically solid. This is a fair observation. It's about as fresh as I've ever gotten these donuts because like normally I have to go like a day earlier to like secure the donuts. And I don't know, maybe they're just doing really high volume. So I feel like they came out like super fresh. Got a theory on the Squirtle theme today. I would love to hear it. I think maybe we'll just leave it there. We did complete a level. I don't know if we want to. Maybe it's a good idea to save one of these early black hole levels to pick up on, assuming we come to play this next time, which I think is likely. I'm gonna rinse off my donut hands. I'm very happy with the Pokemon promotion, though. I'll say overall. I mean, your mileage may vary, right, in terms of like the intensity of flavor. Like I said, I felt like Jigglypuff and Squirtle were like delightfully understated. The Charmander, I feel like probably should have been better. Like maybe well, I feel like for me personally, I'd probably give it an A minus, but I think objectively, it's kind of on the level with a lot of the others. I somehow feel like adding the chocolate to the marshmallow cream like made it less appealing than when they've done the regular, like the classic marshmallow in the past. Um, but like the presentation on that is pretty good. Krispy Kreme wants to be fresh. That's their thing. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like the whole red light thing where like you see the like hot donut sign up. I feel like it mostly just applies to their like plain glazed donuts, and I feel like I don't know. It's just not that appealing. It was the Charmander. You know what? I can show you. I got a spare. By which I mean I got like a second of all the Pokemon. Yeah, I made sure I had a second of all the Pokemon because the dozen comes with a second Pikachu. I'll show you the other one I have. So when I made the order, they gave me like a box that can contain 3. And then when I was there, I got the other ones I couldn't pre-order because they still had them in stock. So this box has Charmander and Squirtle. So yeah, the donut itself is like orange, where it has like orange icing, and then has this like glittery red, yellow, orange sort of flame sprinkle motif. Is pretty cool. I really like the presentation on the Squirtle donut. And like it had like the whatever that I guess it's like a vanilla swirl or whatever, it has just like a really nice texture. It's just really delightful. It just melts in your mouth. I'm gonna put these back and rinse off my hands, but just because you asked. All right, if we're doing Secret Squirtle coming up, I definitely just don't want to have sticky hands. So that took a minute. Um, okay. I think donuts are fine if they've sat for a bit. I think gummy candies are usually better if the bag is open and they've sat for a bit. I think that varies a little bit, but I hear you on that. I hate donuts that are filled with something. I tend so I don't like jelly donuts at all. That consistency and the mess that it makes with a donut is not for me. The Krispy Kreme sort of like creamy filling can be good. You've seen much worse on Insta. You got a pretty good pastry chef or what? Like, the Halloween donuts I got from there like weren't necessarily like top marks, but were like solid. These like pretty much all the ones I saw on display at the store like felt like they were really done with care, which is maybe part of why I was like, yeah, give me the because I had pre-ordered like the full dozen, which only comes with doubles of Pikachu, And the only other ones that were available at the time I did pre-order were Squirtle and Charmander. And then when I got there, like I just saw how nice everything looked. I was like, yeah, give me another Bulbasaur and another Jigglypuff. So I got those for myself for like the rest of this week, presumably. Like I said, generally the number one way to get, in my eyes, to completely ruin a donut to the point where it's rendered inedible is fill it with jelly or cream. Sister agrees, but says this does not apply to eclairs. That's a separate category. Put it with small amounts of filling, but it's just going to attack. I mean, I feel like I think one area where we can all agree is if there's so much filling that it will attack you on either end, start or finish, that's not a good job. That's not a good donut. I think none of us like that. If it's done in a measured quantity, it can be good, but you still kind of have to be careful with it, I think. Bold choice. Squirtle behind Pikachu. Interesting. I didn't see if you were lurking in chat yesterday, but I put out like a whole bunch of Pokemon, and the theme was just all the Pokemon. But yeah, just to formally wrap up the game, I think I'll put it up to. I think I'll put it up to Discord as to whether we keep playing this on stream. I'm really liking Cosmic Express. Like, this game is a lot of fun. I know that like some of the harder puzzle levels are like a little some of the puzzle levels are difficult enough that they're sort of like quiet contemplation, and that might not be everyone's vibe, but it's like a little more of a chill thing, and it lends itself to a more like chat focused thing. Unfortunately, like a little bit of a quieter turnout, but like I don't know, I think this was a fun stream. Yeah, I'm basically the point is I'm enjoying it and I recommend it and it's cool. What will be played if not Cosmic Express? Lord, do you have any idea how much at the end of my rope I am? I have no idea. I'll figure it out. It'll be something, but like I don't have a plan, which is like a considerable percentage of the factoring that went into like, hey, maybe we'll play Cosmic Express tonight. But like I barely got through this week. I was like just constantly doing stuff. I mean, I drove 60 miles to procure these donuts for the stream. This was more or less the limit of what I could get done to make the weekend streams like anything in particular this weekend. And I think it was worth it, but at the same time, it was a lot. Okay, so where are our guesses? Obviously, to wrap up the stream, we're playing a rousing game of Secret Squirtle. If you find one of these pals, my favorite Pokemon Squirtle, hidden amongst the plush friends on display, is an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So I put some on display and see if you can figure out where those Squirtles are at. I scrolled back up. My sister made the comment, don't remember pre-Flareon times. You just commenting on the fact that now the Flareon lives here. Yeah, it's very good. I still, like, I need to get this room in, like, a proper order. Like, I kind of want to get some, like, installed shelves or something. And then what I really want Flareon to have her own couch and to just, like, be the wall. And then I need the shelves to sort of be elevated so that, like, you know, the couch would like hypothetically be usable for some purpose. I guess it doesn't have to be, but this is the vision. Okay. Pikachu, Sonic. The flare has always been there. It is eternal. There's like fiction, right, where like something is like erased retroactively from reality. Where like like something happens and then like something that had already happened to you is gone because it's just wiped entirely from the timeline. The Flareon is sort of the opposite. It appeared and then it was always there. Its existence begat its own history before its existence. Can a Flareon be so floofy and majestic that it redefines the nature of linear time and existence itself? And the answer is obviously. All right, so let's take a look. We've got Pikachu and Sonic. Well, I got some bad news for you, Zakulum. Sonic does not have a Squirtle, but if it's any consolation, it is the most thematic miss you could have had with Donut Cat, the cat who lives inside of a donut. However, if we look behind the Pikachu, we will find ourselves our trick-or-treat jack-o'-lantern Halloween Squirtle. Really like the Donut Cat. Let's get a closer look at Donut Cat. It's really good. On the front, it's got a cute little face and obviously sprinkles on a donut. And on the back, you can see his butthole because that's the most important part of the cat to render correctly. Other than, I guess, the 3 sort of situation on the face. But you really get everything you need from the cat experience. And also a donut. The theme, well, there were multiple good guesses. The theme was things that are both yellow and black. I wanted to be able... I've been struggling to incorporate things that can include the train in the... Because, like, so many of the themes are having to do with, like, a creature's body part or the expression it's making or whether it's wearing an outfit or something like that. And the train just does not fit nicely into those. So I've been playing around trying to make that happen. So to get the train involved today, I was like, yeah, I already have like yellow and black, and my mom got me like not exactly a replacement, but like a new candy corn friend, because my other one is really like lopsided and doesn't like to sit good. Just to like demonstrate, this is the new one. It's sort of like a vertical line shape. And if we look at the old one, it's sort of I don't know, kind of like an oblong. It just, the problem is that like its weight is oddly situated, so it doesn't like to stand good. I love them both. I mean, I really like the original one was like favorite Squishmallow release in whatever year it was. It was really good. Oh yeah, I love the little jack-o'-lantern basket on Halloween Squirtle. It made him a must-have. I love jack-o'-lantern visual motifs. There's always weird candy corn. All candy corn is perfect in exactly the way it is meant to be, or something. Something Gandalf, wizards showing up on time, or something. Vasco, that's me. What's the scoop? My coworker brought the Puppetronic Pika. Wait, which one's the Puppetronic Pika? Is that... I mean, I assume that's like a robot who is also a Pikachu, who is also your best friend, who is also storming up a storm with his electric cheeks. I'm just doing ad copy now. I'm improving ad copy. Does that help anyone? I bet it's very distracting. I do hope that it was worth every bit of the distraction to enjoy it to its fullest. Trying to do important director things and heard laughing Pika. Yeah. That sounds hard to deal with. That's a challenge that I hope that your like boss understood and appreciated how difficult that work was to accomplish. Fancy $80. I gotta look this thing up. I don't know if I'm like I might know it to look at it, but the name is not familiar. But that's cool. Did they just bring it from home? They just have this? Never see her boss. I mean, I don't either, but that's because she lives 3,000 miles away. Anyway, I think that will do it for the stream. I hope you're all enjoying Cosmic Express. Like I said, I think I'll put it up to folks on the Discord if they're interested in continuing with this on the stream. Like, I think I would definitely play more of this game, for sure. I don't know if I will devote enough time to it to finish the whole game. Again, not really sure how long it is, but like, I don't know. The vibe and the aesthetics are just so good. I know I shouldn't click on this because it'll make the music come back. But it's like, I don't know. It's just such a cute game. It's got the trains. It's really good. I'm liking it. Psycho says, I wish I never saw my boss. Well, you know, maybe if you telescooter into the office, then that'll work somehow. You can just like be on an iPad screen on the front desk and talk to people that way. Just constantly be on Zoom with your own desk. Is that something? Does that sound good or dystopian? Boss is just annoying enough to be aggravating, not so annoying to be truly angry about, which is a weird kind of limbo I hate. I mean, it's almost the platonic ideal of the just like adult American boss experience. Like, you certainly wish to have like a notably good boss, but percentage wise, I feel like you're more likely to have a notably bad boss. And so, like, that's the plateau upon which you sit. Anyway, that will do it for the stream tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. We'll be back with something. I don't know if it'll be this or something else. Until we do, take care of yourselves. And remember that you are clawsome.